Hello, let's learn about Inkscape. So first of all, let's go through some of these tools. So this right here, this is your mouse button. So this whole side here basically turns your mouse into different tools. If you ever want to go back to being a mouse and grabbing a shape and moving it, this is the button for you right here. So we're going to skip this one here. This is the node tool. Skip that for now. But let's go to the square tool. You can click on the square, and now your mouse is a square maker. So I can make a square, several squares, and yada, yada, yada. If I want to change the color of the square, you can always, let's say I want to change this color. So what I'm going to do is click on the mouse, click on the shape I want to change, and then come down here and change it to red or whatever. Next tool, we have the circle tool. So go ahead and make a circle with me. If I want to make a circle within a circle, I can take this and Control C, Control V, make this green by clicking on here. Control C, Control V is just copy and paste. Now, one thing I want you guys to look up is up here. We have the width and we have the height. So on a circle, we want these to be the same, and that will make a perfect circle. So 174, 173, it doesn't much matter. I'll go 173 and get rid of the little change there. And we'll turn this into 173, and you'll notice the green circle is now actually a perfect circle. I'm going to actually delete this one, and then I am going to redo that and make a copy of it. Now, I'm going to hold down the Control Z is undo. I always mess that up. Hold down Control, grab this arrow, and it'll uniformly make it smaller and bigger. If you hold down the Shift key, I'm holding down the Shift key right now, it'll do weird things as you make it smaller. And this can be necessary for certain things, but for our case, we don't want that. So I'm going to hit Control Z, which is undo again. This is also the undo button here, and this is the this is the undo button right here. Sorry, that's the undo button here. And again, I'm going to go back to Shift. Control Z. But you and I messed that up. Hold down Control, go down a little bit. All right, now we have a circle, and it's a little bit smaller than the circle, and we're going to use that to our advantage here in a second. I'm going to turn that into a different color so I can see it. Now I'm going to bring this over here, and then the one thing I want you to see is the page up, page down. This is going to be close to your arrow keys on your keyboard. So if I hit the page down key, it'll go behind it. If I hit page up, it goes up above it. And then hopefully you do that with me. Then let's use a line tool. Let's get this perfectly in the center of this circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag select like this. And then I'm going to use a line tool. Now my line tool is already popped up, but yours probably isn't. So let me go ahead and close all this stuff out so I can show you how to do it. This button here is the line tool. You could click on that. You could also use the hotkeys, which is what I normally do, is Control Shift A, which is Control Shift A means A is alignment. And the primary alignment tools you're going to use is this one, center on the vertical axis, and this one, center on the horizontal axis. So if I click on this one, you'll notice that they aligned vertically, and then I do this one, and it aligns horizontally. Now I have a perfect circle within a circle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a hole. I'm going to cut a hole out, and we're going to make a ring. How do I do that? Well, there's two different ways. On the menu, it is, I believe, path. Yep. And then you see here it says difference and one that says union. Okay, so difference, you can see like how it has like this little red circle. It looks like it's cutting out the corner of the square. That's what we want. So I'm going to click on that. And now I have a ring. I have found if you do that with more than two shapes, it doesn't work. So you want to do that make sure you only have two shapes selected. The other way to do that, I'm going to go Control Z, get that undo. Instead of doing the All Select button, you can hold down the Shift key, and then click the other shape. And if you have a bunch of shapes and you're only trying to deal with one of them and you don't want to get into the other shapes, you can use a Shift key. So now they did that, the hotkeys for cutting this is going to be Control minus. Now, if I go back, I'm going to Control Z. On some of your laptops, because the minus key is, you don't have a number pad on the right like you do on a big keyboard, your minus key might be up in the top row, right next to the 0, to the right of the 0. And in that case, you might actually have to hit the Shift key as well to get the minus key to activate. So I'd go Control Shift minus. Oops, I didn't click on it, so nothing happened. So I'm actually glad that happened, because it'll be, why is something happening? So let's try again. Control Shift minus. There it is. So that was me using the other minus key, and that's definitely like on the laptops, or maybe your Chromebook wouldn't work with this program. So, all right, now let's add a shape to this shape. So let's go ahead and let's make a Mickey Mouse head. So I'm going to make another ear by Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm going to make this one a little bigger by holding down the Shift key. Or sorry, no, it's the Control key. Look at me messing that up again. There we go. Now, these shapes here are all single shapes. If I just group them, which is Control G, it looks like they're all together. But in actuality, they're not. If I was to put this on a laser cutter, it would actually burn out this circle, and it'd burn out this circle, and it'd burn out this circle, and it wouldn't know they're one shape. So I need to do something different. So I'm again going to go ahead and undo. Let's use this undo button this time. There it is. So now it's undooed. I'm going to go ahead and combine these shapes. So again, I can hold down a Shift key and just click on each one, or I can drag select the shapes. And now I'm going to go to Path, and then I'm going to go to Union. Notice here it actually has the hotkey right here, Control plus plus. So it just means Control and the plus key. This one means Control and the minus key. Okay, so it's nice these actually have the hotkey. So if there's something you end up using a lot, you can come there and you can see the hotkey, so you don't have to keep going to the menu. So I'm going to go to Union, and now it's one shape. Now the laser cutter or the vinyl cutter will see this as one shape, and it'll cut it out here, up like this, down like this, and so on and so forth, but it won't cut here because this is all part of the same shape. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and delete that. Let's see what else we have here. So the star tool. So if you want to make a star, basically how this works is you tell it how many corners you want. So if I click on this, you'll notice that the little spikes on the star, they go less. So I have three is a triangle, 2 is a diamond, and that's as far as it goes. And then you could click on this and you can make it infinite, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, so that's the star tool. There's some other things here. Let's play with this. You can see that the inside of the star is going out. This one rounds the star, so it's like less sharp edges. That's what this randomizer does. Ooh, okay. There's a tool we'll probably never use. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control. Actually, I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to click on the mouse tool, hit delete. Let's go to the next tool. This tool here makes 3D squares. This be useful for like an art program. We're never going to use this. So I'm going to hit delete. This makes cool swirl patterns. Probably won't use that very much. Bezel tool is great for drawing around an object. So let's say I want to take this shirt. I can use the bezel tool and then kind of click around it. and you can just copy and paste a picture of a shirt or whatever. There it is. And once I complete it, you notice it turned into a little shirt. So basically, it's a way to outline something and then make a solid shape from it. It can be a very useful tool. All right, now let's see what else we got here. We have the drawing tool. So you probably guessed it. I can draw on something. Let's see if we change it to something darker. So fill. There we go. And let's see. That tool don't use very often. This is, again, I think I told you in class, this is basically for just making notes. And because we're zoomed so far out, you can't see it, so I'll hold down the control and use the mouse wheel. That's another thing. If you hold down the control button and use your mouse wheel, you can zoom in. So I can say, hello, this is my notes. Okay. And I think I told you guys in class, but this, you can't use this to add letters to your designs. It doesn't work. Inkscape basically sees this as notes, and it won't print them. You can't use it for laser cutting or anything else. So this is just like, hey, I want to say this shirt is part A, and then something else I'm attached with part B. It's just for making notes. They won't do anything. And I'll show you how to get letters. Actually, let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to zoom out. Click on my arrow key here. Now I have the mouse control. I think what I'm going to, the other thing I should have talked about too, and I forgot. This little page here, this is basically the size of a piece of paper. And this kind of gives you a relative idea of how big things are compared to the paper. But in all, we want to rely on these numbers here. So these are in millimeters. So if you're measuring something in centimeters, you just move the decimal place 1 over. So this would be 70.9 centimeters. And this would be 66.4 centimeters. But so actually, how I got this t-shirt size, I took somebody in class yesterday, and I measured from this little tip here all the way to the bottom of their t-shirt, and I found out that it was 70.9 centimeters in height, and I just typed that in here. Oh, actually, no, I didn't do that. Sorry, because I didn't measure the width. So another way you could do it is, let's say you measure somebody from here to here. Well, and you find out that it's 70.9. You make a square, a rectangle, sorry, and we're going to make the height of that 70.9. Oh, but that would be 70 millimeters, so I need to go 709. There we go. And that's the height. And I can use this as a measuring tool when I'm making this bigger and smaller. So you take your t-shirt and you hold down the shift key. I got it right that time. And I use this blue marker as a measuring tool. I'll shrink it and I'll kind of move it a little bigger. And that's about right. All right, now I'll delete this. And let's go ahead and get a t-shirt from the web so you guys can see that process. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go over here to Google. I'm going to type in black t-shirt. And I'm just going to click on this one here. This is the one I actually used before. I'm going to right mouse click it. I'm going to hit copy. Right mouse click, left mouse click, paste. And if you recall, the t-shirt was 709, so I'm going to go ahead and make a rectangle. It's 709 length. And then I'm going to take this t-shirt, hold down the shift key. Look at that, that's really close. Hold down the shift key. All right. Now I'll delete my old measuring tool, and now I have my t-shirt. Now let me get a design. So again, I'm going to go to Google. Let's do Donald Duck. And let's get rid of this word t-shirt. It's an automatic thing. And we're going to type black and white. I like this one. It's fun. But let's see. Let's see. I'm looking for something that I can use here. That would work, but I'm looking for something. Let's see if I can find something that will work. I like that. I'm going to use this guy. I don't like it as much as I do this one, but it's got this little hole space that I'm going to actually use. Oh, never mind. It's got a little gap there. I'm not going to use that. All right. Let's go with this guy. Let's copy image, paste. Now, this is a JPEG, and I want to turn it into a SVG file. That's the one that we work with for laser cutting, and we work with for doing t-shirts and all that stuff. So the way to turn this into a vector image or SVG, I need to get rid of all these little pixels. So what I'm going to do is just right mouse click on it, and I'm going to hit this button called Trace Bitmap. Now it's over here. You can play with stuff on here. If you notice like there's gaps or holes, so you can play this threshold thing, and it can make it darker, and it can fill in gaps and stuff. So that's something to use if you see any gaps, and you do not want any gaps around it. So I'm going to hit apply, and then I just grab it and I pull it out. And I know I did this in class, but let's look at it. I'm going to zoom in, and you can see the difference. This is a straight line. This one's all pixelated. We can play with this one for our machines. This one the machines won't understand. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this guy now. Now, let's put this Donald Duck on our t-shirt. So let's change it to white so we can see what it looks like. And look at that. That looks terrible. So what you can do about this, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z. It's a little trick I learned. What you can do is you can actually make a background, and we'll put the black background on top of it. So we're going to make a white background, and then we're going to put this one on top of the white background so that his face shines through better and it looks better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a copy of this, Control C, Control V. Then I'm going to go to Path and go down to where it says Break Apart. And now I have an outline of the entire image. These little pieces can be really useful for things, and I was actually looking for one that had a hole in it, but if I wanted to, if I want to make his mouth here just be a hole, so it just shows like a black underneath it, like for his t-shirt. Actually, maybe I will do that. Let's do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on the top. I think I'm gonna use a line tool on this one so that I know it's exactly perfect. Control Shift A, again using the vertical and the horizontal. Now this one's on top. I don't want that on top, so I'm gonna go page down. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it. You might not be able to see it because it's not. They're two the same color, so I'm gonna set that white. Now I'm gonna try that again. Align it, and then I'm going to take this guy here. Let's make this a different color so we can see it. Red. Now I'm going to use this tool here. This is the magnet tool. Yours may already be on. If you find like everything's kind of like sticking really hard, this magnet tool does it. So if I come here, it'll kind of just go in like it's locking in like a puzzle piece. I'm going to turn that off now. And I'm going to grab the white Daffy Duck, or no, it's the black one. Let's find out here. Yep, I was right, white. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do that difference thing where I cut this out. So I'm going to go to Path, go to Difference, and there it is. Okay, now the black shirt will pop through there. I'm going to turn that back to white. I'm going to bring that onto the shirt. I'm going to turn this back into black, bring it onto the shirt, and I'm going to use the Align tool. And you can see it looks pretty good. Sometimes I do like, because this is black and this is black, if I'm doing a black shirt, I like to offset a little bit. So I might take that little white part and offset it when I actually do the final t-shirt. I'll move it like that on purpose, just to make it pop a little bit better. It gives an outline to that black. So that looks pretty good. Now let's say I want some writing on here. I want some writing on here. I want to use Google Docs or Word. You have Google Docs, we're going to use that one. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and let's go to internet here. Let's just type in docs. And here we can type. So one of my favorite fonts, if you go to more fonts and then type in UNI, and you're going to get this cool like Old English. This would be called Old English in Microsoft Word. So we're going to use that one. Now that we have, let's see, must have just loaded it. It's up there. Let me try again. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, it worked that time. Okay, so now Donald Duck is the best. And I'm going to go ahead and just make this align. There. Now I'm going to zoom in. Now here's the thing, you don't want to just copy and paste this. We do have to, so we're trying to trick Inkscape. We have to make this, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to change the font size. There. You want this to be as big as you possibly can, so that when you copy it over, you capture as many pixels as you can, because we have to turn that into a vector image. So one of the best ways to do this is still text right now, and if I just copy and paste this over, Inkscape will not see it as a picture, and it won't work. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a tool called the snipping tool. S-N-I-P, and usually it pops up, and it looks like this. And then I'm going to hit New. And I'm just going to drag select it. And there it is. I'm going to grab this, move this over. And then I should be able to just, because basically it just copies it when you do that. I'll right mouse click, hit paste, and there it is. Now all I have to do is change it in the vector image. Again, right mouse click, trace bitmap, hit apply, pull it out. Let's change the font color to white so we can actually see it on the black background. And there we have Donald Duck is the best. Okay. And that's basically everything you really need to know for right now on how to make a t-shirt and intro to Inkscape. So there's some other features here that you can work with, and we'll probably use some of that later. Because there's copy and paste function, there's a little eraser tool, but yeah. So I guess the final thing would be when you are saving this. We don't need the t-shirt, so what you do is you just take this, make sure everything's touching the page. I'm going to turn this back to black so we can see it. It won't matter what color it is because we're cutting it out of a sticker material, and the sticker material is the color anyways. So I would just put it right here, and then you're going to go to File, Save As, and then you're going to go to your this PC. You're going to find things called the homework drive, this one. Hit open. And I'm going to make a new folder for you guys. I'm going to just go ahead and do that real quick. And you're going to use this folder. And this is going to be called 2024 Rogers class. Okay, and I'm going to hit open. And then I'm going to make another folder. And I'm going to make all the period folders. And then you're going to basically open that folder up and you're going to save it there. So for my, let's see, period 3 class, period 3, you'll put there. And then 4. Six, period 7. All right, so this is where you're going to save your stuff, and all you have to do is go to your period, open it up, and then type your name here. So Mr. Rogers, and I'm going to say what it is, Donald Duck T-shirt. I'm also going to put in some other folders in here, like so if you want white vinyl, it'll be a white vinyl T-shirt folder, or if you want a sticker, I'm going to label a bunch, and then you put it in the correct one with what you want. Like so, if you're just doing a sticker, and what color of sticker. If you're going to do a T-shirt, what color T-shirt, and so on and so forth. But then once you open up that folder, type in your name, and then put your what you're doing, and then if I want this to be white vinyl, then I'm going to do white. By the way, remember if I did the background for Donald Duck, and his background was white, and then his face was black, you're going to want to save those as 2 different files. So anyway, so I'm going to hit save. And that's it.